Page 39, John Henry. More syncopations, and they're pointing them out to you at the beginning. It's just the first note of the measure is a short note when you're expecting a longer note is all. It's just where you... So if I play at the beginning both hands together, that's what I would expect to hear, but that's not what's written. It's syncopated. It's this. See, the first note is short, and that's what makes it syncopated. And the last measure is the three notes together. So just more syncopation. It's kind of fun once you get the hang of it. We'll talk about the right hand. Right at the beginning, first full measure, those two Fs, I recommend a 5/4. So with the pickup, it's that. And then reach your third finger down to the D. Same thing in the last measure. Reach the third finger down to the D. And then cross over in the second line to get the G. Then you have a quarter rest to get your hand back up where it goes. See, now I measure 5. You see second line on the second measure at the beginning, there's a 5 with a circle. That's a measure number. So we can say measure number such and such. Now, most books, all the books so far I run into, don't consider the pickup measure as measure 1. The measure 1 is the first full measure. When I used to have to number measures for my students for music festivals and contests, I always measured the pickup measure as 1 because if they have to refer to it, they need a measure number. So that's what I use. But the books don't do that. The first full measure is measure 1. So if you count them, you'll find the second measure, the second line, is the 5th full measure. So that's what the 5 is for. So if I happen to refer to a measure number, hopefully you understand what I'm referring to. So measure 5 here. You see that? That's not syncopated here. Now the syncopation comes on the last half of the measure. It's like, what's going on? Well, that's what syncopation is. What's going on? In the last line, now here with the first two Ds, do fifth finger on both of these Ds here. Because we need the fourth finger on the C. Now they're suggesting a 2, 1, then cross over for the F. And then back. And that's doable, but it's unnecessary. You can go with the 8th notes, you 4 on the first one. Rather than a 2 on the A, just bring down and play it with the third finger. Then you don't have to cross over the thumb at all. In the next measure, because they're showing a 1, 3 going on, we have to adjust that because now we're playing the G with the second finger, not the thumb. So we can't really put the third finger on that D. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the 5th finger on the D, there in the second measure of the last line. G is the second finger, 5th finger on the D, and then a 3 on the C. And we're back where we need to be. In the last two measures, this is different from the first measure of the last line. Different notes. So, I mean, the rhythm's the same, the notes are different, but the fingering doesn't work that I showed you on the first measure. So we have to have it different. So we have the two first beats. This is measure 9, okay? Go ahead and do what they're suggesting. Put third finger on the D, 2, 1 on the A, and then cross over. However, I don't recommend second finger and thumb again because you're working these fingers a lot and it's unnecessary. In measure 9, I suggest the first two beats are fine, first two 8th notes are fine, put the thumb on the A, cross over with the third finger, not second. So you can play the last note with the index finger. And that's much quicker. And it's very common in piano, so I recommend you do it that way. In the left hand, you just have these chords. Now, having said all that stuff, let's try this out together. It's in common time, or 4/4 time, so I'm going to give us 3 counts and we'll play it. No pedal. All right, so go ahead and put your hands where they go. And here we go. 1, ready, and go, and. Now there is a duet accompaniment at the bottom, so let's try that out. I'm going to play that, and you play what you just played. Now the first 2 notes, those 2 eighth notes, the pickup beats, you get those by yourself. I don't come in until the first full measure. So I'm going to bring you in. I'm going to give you 3 counts, and then you play, and then I play on the next beat. So here we go. Put your hands where they go. 1, ready, and go, and 3, and.